Hi, this is Mark, and this is English Conversation Practice. 10 very short conversations, set 15, plus bonus content, a quiz. So be sure to stick around for the quiz in the second part of this video. Okay, great. Let's start. Get me a toothbrush when you go to the store. I'll get you two. I need to sit down. You look very tired. Everything is positive. Good job. Your order is ready. Thank you. Have you seen my pencil? Yes, here it is. You need to stop smoking. Sounds bad. When do you finish work? I'll be done shortly. Is that mine? Yes, here you are. Please hold the door. Sorry, too late. Turn on the light, please. Okay. Quiz time. What are they saying? Get me a toothbrush at the store. I'll get you two. I need to sit down. You look very tired. Everything is positive. Good job. Your order is ready. Thank you. Have you seen my pencil? Yes, here it is. You need to stop smoking. Sounds bad. When do you finish work? I'll be done shortly. Is that mine? Yes, here you are. Please hold the door. Sorry, too late. Turn on the light, please. Okay. Hi, this is Mark, and this is English Conversation Practice. Asking for things, plus bonus content, can and could. So be sure to stick around for the second part of this video for that bonus content. Okay, great. Let's start. What's up? Nothing much. What are you doing? I'm going to a bookstore. Can I help you? I need a book. What's up? Nothing much. What are you doing? I'm going to a cafe. Can I help you? I'd like a salad. What's up? Nothing much. What are you doing? I'm going to a coffee shop. Can I help you? May I have a coffee? What's up? Nothing much. What are you doing? I'm going to a department store. Can I help you? I'd like this dress. What's up? Nothing much. What are you doing? I'm going to a gift shop. Can I help you? I need a present. What's up? Nothing much. What are you doing? I'm going to a pet shop. Can I help you? Can I have a parrot? What's up? Nothing much. What are you doing? I'm going to a restaurant. Can I help you? I'd like fish. What's up? Nothing much. What are you doing? I'm going to a bakery. Can I help you? I want a Danish. Bonus. Permission. Could I use the restroom? Ability. I could have been champion. Positive suggestion. We could have Japanese. Request. Could you have a look at this? Possibility. It could be cold in April. Permission. You can borrow my pencil. Ability. I can see it. Request. Can I have a large? Hi, this is Mark, and this is English Conversation Practice. And today you are shouting with me. Yes, like a real shadow that follows you wherever you go. You will be my shadow. That is, you will not repeat after me. You will speak at the same time as I do. All right? So input, output, input, output. You will be using two skills, your listening skills and your speaking skills at the same time. Whoa, yes, great practice for you. That's why you're here, to practice your English. Yes, okay, great, great, great. And I'm here to help you practice your English. Yes, I am. Okay, great. And right here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. Yes, 8 cards. We're going to shadow 8 cards. And today's topic is ought to, ought to. And we use ought to for these situations, all right? So for example, when something is necessary or a duty, we use ought to. For example, they ought to respect the law. They ought to respect the law. All right. Desirable, something that is desirable. He ought to be able to make it. He ought to be able to make it. Nice. All right. And we use it to give advice. You ought to go. You ought to go. Good advice. You ought to go. All right. And then we use it for a probable outcome. So for example, the pizza ought to arrive soon. The pizza ought to arrive soon, probable. Okay, good, good, good. All right, are you ready to start? Yes? Okay, great. Let's do it. Excuse me, I need some water here. Okay, we will have 2 rounds. Round 1, we will shadow each card 3 times. But you will not see the card. You will not see the sentence. You will not see the picture, all right? This is difficult because you have no context, right? You're just listening and speaking at the same time, right? So maybe you understand the situation, maybe you understand the meaning, maybe you don't, all right? However, in round 2, we will shadow again, and then I will show you the card. Then we will talk a little bit about the meaning. That way, in the second round, you can test yourself, see how you did, right? So the first round, you couldn't see the card. You couldn't see the picture, the sentence. However, the second round, you can see and you can say, oh, yeah, I knew that. Or, oh, okay, that's what it is. All right, so let's do it. Yeah, okay, here's round 1. All right, so you're shadowing with me, right? You are speaking at the same time as I am. Okay, here we go. Card number 1. Let's count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Card number 1. You ought to be able to park here. You ought to be able to park here. You ought to be able to park here. We ought to take a taxi. We ought to take a taxi. We ought to take a taxi. She ought to stop. She ought to stop. She ought to stop. Your taxi ought to arrive in 5 minutes. 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 This ought to fit in our budget. This ought to fit in our budget. This ought to fit in our budget. He ought to be able to get a room. He ought to be able to get a room. He ought to be able to get a room. He ought to not drink and drive. 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 You ought to put on sunblock. You ought to put on sunblock. You ought to put on sunblock. Yes, you ought to put on sunblock. Okay, good. That was 8 cards, everyone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Fantastic. All right, let's do it again, yeah? And we're going to shadow each card 3 times again, and then I will show you the card, and we will talk about the card, okay? Yeah, ready? Okay, good. Let's count down to round 2. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Round number 2. You ought to be able to park here. 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 So here, the situation is something maybe desirable, right? So you ought to be able to park here. You want to, you desire, it's desirable for you to park here, and you ought to be able to do it. Okay, so you're happy, right? You ought to be able to park here. Okay, good. We ought to take a taxi. 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 So here we can say, we ought to. So this is something like advice, right? Yeah. So advice, right? So we ought to take a taxi. So it's a good idea that we take a taxi, right? So it's advice. We ought to take a taxi. Good. Okay, card 3. She ought to stop. 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 Uh-oh. She ought to stop. So it's something, it's necessary, right? It's desirable. It's necessary, right? You ought to stop. If you don't, you will crash, right? You ought to stop. If you don't, you will crash. You ought to stop. Okay, good. Sorry. Here we go. Card number 4. Your taxi ought to arrive in 5 minutes. 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 All right? So this is probable, right? So it ought to arrive in 5 minutes, right? So pretty sure it's going to arrive in 5 minutes. Okay, card number 5. This ought to fit in our budget. 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 So a budget is how much money you have to spend on something, right? So maybe these people are shopping for furniture, and so maybe they have $500 to spend. Their budget is $500. So perhaps this closet and TV fit into their budget. All right. So this ought to fit in our budget. All right. So it's desirable. Okay. We hope it fits in our budget. It's desirable. This ought to fit in our budget. Okay. Here we go. Next card. He ought to be able to get a room. He ought to be able to get a room. He ought to be able to get a room. He ought to be able to get a room. He ought to be able to get a room. All right, so he ought to be able to book a room, right? There should be empty rooms in the hotel, okay? So it's probable, yeah? Pretty sure there are empty rooms. You ought to be able to get a room. You ought to be able to book a room without a problem, okay? He ought to be able to get a room. Okay, good. Next card. He ought to not drink and drive. 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 Uh-oh. That's bad. No. It's necessary, right? It's a duty, right? It's a law. He ought to not drink and drive, right? No. Don't do that, because you can get in an accident. You can hurt yourself, or you can hurt someone else, right? So you ought to not drink and drive. Okay, good. All right, last card, number 8, everyone. Here we go. You ought to put on sunblock. 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 All right. So this is something that is necessary these days, right? It's necessary because the sun is very strong these days, and you can get sunburn. And if you get many sunburns, you can get skin cancer. So you ought to put on sunblock, right, to protect your skin. You ought to put on sunblock to protect your skin. Yes, you should, okay? You ought to put on sunblock. Okay, good. Whoa, we did it, everyone. Fantastic. Yes, we shadowed 8 cards twice, right? Round 1, you couldn't see the cards, and then round 2, you did it again, and plus you saw the cards, right? So you did your comprehension check, how well you understood from the first round, right? Okay, great. And if you enjoy shadowing with me, if you enjoy my videos, please consider joining the channel, yeah? So by helping me, I can help you, all right? So please click on the join button and there'll be a pop down button, and you could check out the different levels and the different benefits of becoming a member. Okay, so by helping me, I can help you. That would be fantastic. And also I have a Patreon page, so you could check that out to support me and the channel. And I also have a website, markkulek.com, for flashcards, yes, and worksheets you can download. All right, so please check that out, and that's another way to support me in the channel. And I have a mug, a coffee mug or a tea mug, and you can also get this English Conversation Practice, support me and the channel. And I have a few books, 50 very short conversations book. This is book 2, and here's book 1, and you get these at Amazon.com. So there's lots of ways to support me and to support the channel. So I hope you consider doing that. That would be fantastic. Okay, thanks so much. I will see you again for another video of you and me shadowing together, okay? All right, sounds good. I will see you next time. Take it easy. Bye. Hi, this is Mark, and this is English Conversation Practice. What will you do? What will you do? My plans. Video 15 from the set. So be sure to see all the videos in this set. Plus, there's bonus content. Yeah! Enjoy watching. So be sure to stick around for the second part of this video for that bonus content. Okay, great. Let's start. What will you do today? What will you do today? I will drive to the park. Drive to the park. Drive to the park. Drive to the park. I will drive to the park. What will you do today? What will you do today? I will take a bus. Take a bus. Take a bus. Take a bus. I will take a bus. What will you do today? What will you do today? I will go to the airport. Go to the airport. Go to the airport. Go to the airport. I will go to the airport. What will you do today? What will you do today? I will see my friend. See my friend. See my friend. See my friend. I will see my friend. What will you do today? What will you do today? I will buy a dress. Buy a dress. Buy a dress. Buy a dress. I will buy a dress. What will you do today? What will you do today? I will rent a DVD. Rent a DVD. Rent a DVD. Rent a DVD. I will rent a DVD. What will you do today? What will you do today? I will read a book. Read a book. Read a book. Read a book. I will read a book. What will you do today? What will you do today? I will have cake. Have cake. Have cake. Have cake. I will have cake. What will you do today? What will you do today? I will ride a roller coaster. Ride a roller coaster. Ride a roller coaster. Ride a roller coaster. I will ride a roller coaster. What will you do today? What will you do today? I will do my laundry. Do my laundry. Do my laundry. Do my laundry. I will do my laundry. Bonus. Watch. I enjoy watching the sunset. The sunset. I enjoy watching the sunset. I enjoy watching movies. Movies. I enjoy watching movies. I enjoy watching the sailboats. The sailboats. I enjoy watching the sailboats. I enjoy watching campfires. Campfires. I enjoy watching campfires. I enjoy watching soccer games. Soccer games. I enjoy watching soccer games. I enjoy watching TV. TV. I enjoy watching TV. I enjoy watching you cook. You cook. I enjoy watching you cook. I enjoy watching birds. Birds. I enjoy watching birds. Hi, this is Mark, and this is English Conversation Practice. Word families. Ak. Set 1. Ak. 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 B. Ak. B. Ak. B. Ak. Back. Pack. Backpack. This is my backpack. Okay, now it's your turn. Qua, ak, qua, ak, qua, ak, quack. Ducks say quack. Ak, t, ak, t, ak, tack. Be careful of the tack. Ak, tr, ak, tr, ak, track. I found the railroad track. Okay, extension. B, ak, backpack. B, ak, backpack. B, ak, backpack. Okay, now it's your turn. Qua, ak, quack, qua, ak, quack, qua, ak, quack. tack, t, ack, tack. Ack, track, tr, ack, track, tr, ack, track. Add, add, add. B, add, b, add, b, add, bad. Bad dog. Okay, now it's your turn. D, add, d, add, d, add, dad. He is a new dad. Gl, add, gl, add, gl, add, glad. They are glad. M, add, m, add, m, add, mad. Why are you so mad? Extension. Add. Bad. Add. Bad. Add. Bad. Now it's your turn. Add. Dad. Add. Dad. Add. Dad. Add. Glad. Add. Glad. Add. Glad. Add. Mad. Add. Mad. Add. Mad. Ale. 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 ale, fail. How did I fail my test? Okay, now it's your turn. Ale. 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 Male. Here is your mail. Sn. Ale. Sn. Ale. Sn. Ale. Snail. It's a cute snail. Ale. T. Ale. T. Ale. Tail. It has a bushy tail. Extension. F. Ale. Fail. F. Ale. Fail. F. Ale. Fail. Okay, now it's your turn. M. Ale. Male. M. Ale. Male. M. Ale. Male. Sn ale. Snail. Sn ale. Snail. Sn ale. Snail. Ale. Tail. T. Ale. Tail. T. Ale. Tail. Ain. 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 Br. Ain. Br. Ain. Br. Ain. Brain. Coffee is good for your brain. Okay, great. Now it's your turn. Ain. P. Ain. P. Ain. Pain. I have a pain in my back. Ain. 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 Rain. It's raining again. Tr. Ain. Tr. ain, ain, train. This is an old train. Extension time. Ain, brain. Ain, brain. Ain, brain. Ain, pain. Ain, pain. Ain, pain. Ain, rain. Ain, rain. Ain, rain. Ain, train. Ain, train. Ain, train. Ache, ache, ache. B. Ache. B. Ache. B. Ache. Bake. Did you bake all those? Okay, now it's your turn. Ache. K. Ache. K. Ache. Cake. Is that your birthday cake? Bruh. Ache. Bruh. Ache. Bruh. Ache. Break. I need to change my brakes. Qua. Ache. Qua. Ache. Qua. Ache. Quake. That was a big earthquake. Extension. B. Ache. Bake. B. Ache. Bake. B. Ache. Bake. Ache. Cake. K. Ache. Cake. K. Ache. Cake. br, ache, break, br, ache, break, br, ache, break. Qua, ache, quake, qua, ache, quake, qua, ache, quake. Ale, ale, ale. Ale, 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 male. I think it's a male. Okay, now it's your turn. Ale, 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 sail. They are having a big sale this week. Sk, ale, sk, ale, sk, ale, scale. I don't want to step on the scale. Wa, ale, wa, ale, wa, ale, whale. Whales are beautiful. Okay, extension. Ale, male. Ale, male. Ale, male. Okay, now it's your turn. Ale, sail. Ale, sail. Ale, sail. Ale, scale. Ale, scale. Ale, scale. Wa, ale, whale. Wa, ale, whale. Wa, ale, whale. All, all, all. b, all, b, all, b, all, ball. I like this beach ball. Okay, great. Now it's your turn. All, f, all, f, all, fall. Did you fall down the stairs? M, all, m, all, m, all, mall. Let's go to the mall. St, all, st, all, st, all, stall. It's at the third stall. Extension. B, all, ball. B, all, ball. B, all, ball. Okay, now it's your turn. All, fall. F, all, fall. F, all, fall. all, mall, all, mall, all, mall. All, stall, all, stall, all, stall. Am, am, am. Ha, am, ha, am, ha, am, ham. Let's have ham tonight. Okay, great. Now it's your turn. J, am, j, am, j, am, jam. Please pass the jam. X, am, X, am, X, am, exam. I'm not ready for the exam. Am, swam. I swam for an hour today. Extension. Ha. Am. Ham. Ha. Am. Ham. Ha. Am. Ham. Okay, now it's your turn. J. Am. Jam. J. Am. Jam. J. Am. Jam. X. Am. Exam. X. Am. Exam. X. Am. Exam. Sw. Am. Swam. Sw. Am. Swam. Sw. Am. Swam. Hi, this is Mark, and this is English Conversation Practice family members. Family members, video 12. So be sure to see all the videos in this series. Okay, great. Let's start. Family members. Ask and answer. Who is she? She's my mother. Who is he? He's my father. Who is she? She's my sister. Who is he? He's my brother. Who is she? She's my grandmother. Who is he? He's my grandfather. Where are they? Where is my mother? She's at the market. Where is my father? He's at the cinema. Where is my sister? She's at the burger shop. Where is my brother? He's at the bookstore. Where is my grandmother? She's at the flower shop. Where is my grandfather? He's at the taxi stand. Conversation. Who is she? She's my mother. Where is she? She's at the market. What's she doing there? She is grocery shopping. Who is he? He's my father. Where is he? He's at the cinema. What's he doing there? He's watching a movie. Who is she? She's my sister. Where is she? She's at the burger shop. What's she doing there? She's having lunch. Who is he? He's my brother. Where is he? He's at the bookstore. What's he doing there? He is buying some books. Who is she? She's my grandmother. Where is she? She is at the flower shop. What's she doing there? She's getting some flowers. Who is he? He's my grandfather. Where is he? He's at the taxi stand. What's he doing there? He is catching a taxi.